Wheels are turning. I'm so excited because during just the first hour, I was able to just take back, not to start from scratch. Literally, I don't have to start from scratch. And that will save me some time and also help me create a profit in my business. So I'm so thankful. Once again, every time I show up with Melinda, I gain something from it. And for that, I'm thankful.
Melinda provides a ton of content for small business owners on how to get organized, how to get your business up and running, and to realize sales fairly quickly after that. She has the receipts to prove it, and I believe it. I also loved Melinda's energy and her enthusiasm and her sincere belief in me as a small business owner that I can realize the success that she has in her business already.
So I know I connected with you and said, help. I don't even know what I don't know, but I do know I need some branding or I need something. And you invited me to a master class, which the funny story about the master class is that when I'm so overwhelmed with so many good things, my mind was racing so much from that intense 4 hours of just opening my mind to all these different possibilities and what my business really could be. Not just, hey, you can consult and it's basically the same as just being an employee, but it's just on your own, to building a business and building wealth and turning this into something more. I had to sleep. I slept for the next 2 hours after after the master class. And I have been on fire ever since. So, what you gave me was a lot of direction, like pointed into a direction, not directions to do something, but an invitation to explore more, guidance to explore more, and the confidence to know that this is the way it works. This is a system. It always works. You do the work and it will happen. And so that comfort of understanding that there is a system and we've now moved into consulting. You are my business coach. You are my business strategist. That has it's like a springboard of incredible constant filling me up on what I need to give me that confidence and to grow in ways that I just never expected. And it has resulted in income that I didn't expect.
My experience with working with Melinda was awesome. Like it was awesome. I was stuck in my business. I didn't know what to do, what to offer, what people wanted to buy. And when we worked together on my business, it was kind of like a business breakthrough session because she looked at my offer, she looked at what needed to be fixed, and we had this very practical and kind of co-working session where right there and then things were getting done. So after the session, I kind of felt like I had the confidence that I needed, to start marketing, to start getting clients. I was no longer feeling stuck. I was feeling very motivated. When you know exactly what you do for people, who you help and how you help them, it's kind of like the sky is the limit. You can just like go, go, go and go. So the session is with Melinda was something that I valued. It was very, very good for me because she was very friendly and very connected, and she connected with me on a personal level that was very helpful to me. So I would recommend working with her any day, anytime.
Working with Melinda is like having a powerhouse partner at your corner. Someone who sees a greatness and refuses to let you settle for anything less. She puts both her heart and brilliance into her work. Melinda is not only a great marketing strategist, but she's also a visionary who helps entrepreneurs like me to turn big ideas into lasting legacies. With her sharp insight and strong drive, she builds strategies that don't just grow businesses, they multiply impact and inspire many. I definitely recommend. Impressed, very impressed. Thank you.
And also, with working with Melinda and her team, as you start to unpack your process and you unpack how she can add to your development of your own team members, you realize that there's room for growth, there's room for development, there's room for change, and there's room for success. I'd say that Melinda and her team has been really helpful in creating a clear, concise program that will be helpful for any team members from small to large, which was mainly our team, where the team consisted mainly of 3 individuals at the time. But she provided tools, tips, and success to help with the team for growth and development moving on in the future. So it's not just for temporary, but it's also it provides us with a clear path for moving forward and for expanding our team as we continue to grow.
So working with Melinda on government contracts was literally a total light bulb moment for my business. I have been trying to win government contracts for quite a long time, and spending like the time and effort and money we spent pouring into doing these submissions, I don't think I could calculate or would even want to calculate. And after sort of meeting Melinda, who is such an amazing, generous person to work with, and the system that she walked me and my company through was so powerful and enlightening. It is worth 10 gazillion times more than the investment that we made. That the system enabled us to see all the opportunities that we could pitch for. It gave us the confidence in what we were doing because of the system that we followed with how Melinda helped us submit the contracts and the compliance and all that government stuff that's, you look at it and it's so complicated and you try it and do what you can do, but actually the system that Melinda, the Govcon system, just makes that sequence much simpler. The effort you're putting in, that it's going to be accepted, your pitch is going to go in. There was also some amazing insight into kind of what's going on in the government departments, of how they choose the contracts, how you can get that insider information and align it with what you're saying in your pitch. So you end up like 10 timesing the likelihood of winning the project. And not only that, is that you then have this whole world open up to all the other contracts that you can go for, which you hadn't even realized that were there. So if you're thinking about government contracts, or even if you're already submitting proposals and trying to win business with government contracts, I would definitely go for Govcon, because it makes so much sense. It makes sense financially, it makes sense time-wise, and Melinda and her team, I have to say, are a pleasure to work with. And not only that, is that we started winning pitches and everything was like awesome. So invest in Govcons if you get the chance to work with Melinda and her team, and go on the training. It really was the best couple of days I spent for my business so that I could grow it using government contracts.
Melinda is an award-winning business and marketing professional and has developed systems and strategies helping business leaders to dominate the marketplace. Despite the challenges that come with starting a business during a global pandemic, Melinda forged her way through acquiring the respect from her clients, as she's helped them achieve a total of $4.4 billion in new business in the last 4 years. She's been mentored and coached by the top 1% of coaches and consultants in the world who have impacted thousands of lives and reporting millions in revenue. Clients pay more than $150,000 for just one VIP day with Melinda, where she consults businesses how to scale their company exponentially. When you listen to her teach, you will immediately recognize that she is one of the most masterful and engaging growth strategists you have had the privilege of learning from. If you're ready to have more impact, more income, and most of all, more fun, welcome Melinda Colon to the stage.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Hey, gosh, what's up? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see you all here. I can't wait to pour into y'all. Oh, I have to make sure that I am viewing the right thing here and pinning myself. Can you guys see me okay? Can you all see me okay? All right, cool. I can't see myself. So let's see here. Show self view. There you go. All right, and pin. Boom, done. Okay, I love quick fixes. I love technology. It is always just humbling me. I love it. What's up, everybody? Hello. I am so excited about this masterclass. I hesitated to do this one because it's about writing winning proposals. Who wants to write? I mean, give me a yes in the chat if you want to write proposals. No, nobody wants to write proposals. But I want to help you do it in a way that it doesn't hurt, that it's not painful, that it's actually fun. And there is a way to do it. And you can do it faster. I remember, oh man, we'll talk about it later. I remember I used to take days, sometimes months, to write a proposal. Not anymore, guys, not anymore. I can't wait to share with you what we have been cooking up over here because it's like mind-blowing. And it's going to save you a ton of time, ton of energy. But the goal of this masterclass is to help you clear up all of the cobwebs that might be in your mind about government contracts. You might be thinking to yourself, I don't know this, I don't know that. What do I do with this? What do I do with that? I want to help just clear everything. So I need your help to do that. I need your help to do that. I'm going to need your engagement. I need you to type in the chat what your questions are. If you get what I'm saying, be like, I got it, Melinda. Give me a thumbs up if you got your camera on. Like, let me know that this is making all the sense. All the sense. It's so important that we make the most of the time here. How many people know? How many of you really know that time is the most valuable asset? Type in the chat, yes, if you understand that time is the most valuable asset. It's not money, right? It's not the sexy car. It's not the big house. It is time. Type time in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Because when we understand that time is the most valuable asset, thank you, Kesha. This is what I'm talking about. Time is the most valuable asset. Why? Wealthy people understand this. Wealthy people know that they want to spend more time enjoying their life than worrying about how much time they have, how much time that they need to exchange for money, how much time does it take to actually get somewhere in life. They're just like, how much, like, I can pay however it is in order for me to retain as much time as possible. Does that make sense? So I would like to give you that gift today in this masterclass. If you stick with me, if you engage, if you connect, if you let me know what your questions are, if you share with me what I can do to help you in this time, I will guarantee that this time will be most valuable to you. So that means engage in the chat, put your cameras on if you can. Let's be here together. We're going to take some time later on during the masterclass to spend time getting to know what's going on in your world. Like what specifically do you need answered for government contracts? There's a lot of questions, and I want to make sure that we get clarity. That is my goal, is to give you clarity by the end of this masterclass. Fair? Okay. All right. This is where we're going to talk about the step-by-step process of writing proposals. I will not put you through that pain. I have been the guinea pig. You are not the guinea pig. I will show you the fast way of doing things so that you don't have to waste time. Let me know in the chat where you're just joining us from. I just kind of want to get an idea of where you guys are located. Oftentimes I get people from all over the place, and I just want to kind of get an idea. Because the most valuable thing is time. So I want you to make sure that you get all your questions answered. And I want to make sure that this is going to be the most valuable, fun, exciting time possible. Because there's this thing going on. This is 2025. We're in 2025. And specifically, I wanted to talk about proposals because there's opportunities coming out of the works in government contracts, specifically in this fiscal year. Usually there are, but specifically, there is going to be this trend towards government contracts. Why? Anybody want to know why? Because this is the season of change in the world. How many of you are feeling that? Like there is something brewing. It's good. It feels good. We're starting the year good, right? Right? We feel it exactly. Oh, Texas, Houston, y'all need to connect. Like you both are in Texas. So we're feeling it. There is something brewing in the world. And we're starting to see it. We're starting to feel it. We already like pretty much know what's going on, but let me give you an idea of what's really going on. Okay? What's really going on is that an era is ending. The way of life is changing. We already have experienced, we've been accelerated towards that. We've taken a catapult towards the new beginning of life, right? I mean, Panorama was like, what? Technology was like, okay, and we are here. So right now in 2025, we're starting to see some trends of change. And what that means is like technology is going to be taking the driver's seat, because for a long time it was in the passenger. It was like we're working it out. Some people are using it, some people aren't. Some people are afraid of a job replacement, all that stuff. And what I believe is that we have to embrace the change. Does that make sense? Give me a yes in the chat if it makes sense that we have to embrace the change. Because if we don't embrace the change, man, life is going to get hard. We're going to be fighting against something that we can't even see. It's like a cloud of smoke, just fighting this cloud of smoke for no reason. Because once we realize we stop fighting it, it passes us. It's just, okay, we can now step into clarity. We can now just get away from the fog instead of fighting in it. Get out of it. Move with ease. I love that this is a season of change because this is a season of opportunity. You know, they say that the most wealthy, the most prominent, the top performers are always created, established, and developed during change, during changes of season. So this is an opportunity to step towards what you'd really desire. Maybe it's more time with your family, doing whatever you want. Maybe just being able to have like the permission to do whatever you want. Like that sounds amazing, right? It's so great to just get up and just go and do something and know that revenue, that income is still coming in. That you're not working for every single dollar to come in, but that you set up systems so that you can succeed. It is so powerful when you can see what's already happening for you. We just have to stop fighting so we can accept and receive it. Melinda, how does this have to do with writing government contract proposals? Everything. Because we're going to start see people really just want to improve their business with AI. But here's the other side of that, is being the consumer on the other side of that change. See, a lot of businesses are going to fumble through adding AI. They're going to fumble through that. That is just a part of newness, right? We never, like, that's why iPhones aren't like this 20-second revision, right? There's always going to be iteration after iteration after iteration. There's no such thing as perfection. And so when we accept that, we know that the first version of the new era is going to be challenging. How can we stabilize? We can stabilize by making sure that we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket. We're putting it in different baskets that have proven to be successful. The government has been proven to be successful. They have proven to have and provide government contracts to small businesses for over 200 years. So we already know that that's happening. Now it's time to step into that. And so that we can get through this season with ease. Type in the chat, ease. If you're like, yes, I want to improve my business. I want to do all these things. I want to automate. I want to create money without working for it. I want money to work for me instead. I want ease so that I can grow and scale my business, even in the midst of uncertainty, even in the midst of change. I still want to grow with ease. And a lot of people will tell you it's impossible. And I'm here to tell you it has possibility all over the place. It's been happening through seasons of change. When there was just the manufacturing era, they were trying to figure out how to get wheat into a truck to be carted over to a grocery store, right? There was this whole process. Even then, there were government contracts. Even before technology, there were government contracts. Even before the computer, there was government contracts. Government contracts are stable. They're reliable. They're consistent revenue that goes into the business. Okay, so now that we have established the baseline of where we're going today, I just wanted to tell you how much fun we're going to have today. If you engage, we're going to have so much fun. I'm so excited. Okay. It's going to be a little different than the Govcon Millions masterclasses because I really let the hair down. And I want to answer your questions. So I want to be able to help you just whatever thoughts you have, no questions. Okay, so there are some of you that are here live. I giving you my promise to make this a safe space. So no question is a bad question. Ask your questions in the chat and we're going to keep going, okay? All right. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to have a ton of fun, and at the end of this masterclass, you're going to have a Govcon sales strategy. You're also going to have the entire proposal blueprint. So you want to have something to write with and write on. And if you know me, I talk really fast because I'm really excited about this stuff. So you'll want to be like, slow down, Melinda, what was that again? And write like the wind. The reason why it's called the Govcon sales strategy is because this accelerates your ability to win government contracts. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. This proven system has unlocked, that has provided and helped me help my clients unlock billions of dollars just in my agency, my consulting agency, but also I'm not even counting what I did in corporate America. Is it okay with you if I just share a little bit about my background, like how I got here? Is it okay? Give me a type of, okay, cool. Type a chat, type a yes. Is that okay if I just give a little bit? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I used to get paid. I used to get paid 6 figures to submit hundreds of proposals to the government every single year. From federal, local, state contracts worth and valued at 150,000 all the way to hundreds of millions of dollars. But here's the thing, I always had a hard time explaining to people what I did. They're like, Melinda, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm in marketing. They're like, so what type of marketing do you do? And I'm like, I write proposals. What? What's a proposal? And oh my gosh. But it's no secret why that's the case, because most people don't even know about government contracting. And the people that do are afraid to do government contracting. Like, it's just this thing that people think that, oh my gosh, it has to be difficult because it's a government. It has to be difficult because, well, that's just who they are. I see them in the media, the news. They're doing all these things. It has to be complicated. Guys, I'm telling you right now, it is one of the simplest ways of making money, because let me explain to you the pros and cons of government contracting. When you're running a business without government contracting, you're going to get the client. You're basically guessing whether or not they need your services. Cold emails, cold DMs, you're messaging them, you're like nurturing them for a long period of time. And then you finally land and you finally get them to be interested in you. And what happens? It's still a 50-50 shot. You're like, okay. And then they come back and they either say, oh, well, this is not in our budget, or maybe next time, or this, that, and the other. And there is this long lead to conversion. Can I get an amen? Y'all know what I'm talking about. It takes forever to close sometimes. Sometimes it can take less. There are so many strategies to accelerate the speed of conversion, but it's challenging because every single person needs something different. And it's like guessing game if you're not clear in your marketing. This is why government contracting is different. They already have said what they need. They're like, this is what I need. This is what our budget is. Can you fulfill it? They're literally waiting to give you money. What people think is a big red tape of bureaucracy, hard, difficult things, is actually the tiniest, thinnest string of red. That it's not something that's going to be overtaking your business or overtaking your time, like anything of that. It is actually going to help you set you up for success. It's helping create boundaries so that it protects you as a business. Like, there are set-asides. There are so many set-asides. There are small business set-asides, so you're just a small business. And there are also diversity set-asides. So if you're a veteran, veteran-owned business, a minority-owned business, that is a set-aside all in itself. So these are 2 buckets of many other buckets of set-aside. And what set-aside is that they're actually contracts that are set aside for you to win. They're like, hey, we want you to win. Are you going to come get this money? You know? And a lot of people are like, I don't know. It seems really difficult. It seems really difficult. So back in my corporate days, decision makers from across $7 billion company would bypass their own marketing teams to come directly to me. It wasn't just once or twice. This was common. This was very common. And they'd say something like that. They'd call me on my desk phone and they'd be like, hey, Melinda, can you take some time to take a quick look at this proposal before it goes out? I'll send it straight to you. Just let me know. Just let me know your notes. Just send them to me. Don't worry about uploading the file. It's okay. We got it. Just wanted to get you a review. Man, I earned so many bottles of wine Like people would send me bottles of wine. I'd get gift cards. I was getting swag. I was getting so many things just because like they were like, please, can you just do this for me? Like real quick, Man. I was in the Atlanta office in one company I worked for. And when I started there, it was half the penthouse floor. And the time it was like 2.5 years later when I left because for many reasons, but they had overtaken the entire penthouse floor. They had expanded their business. And I thought to myself, I'm like, I wonder if I had anything to do with that. I wonder if I helped them win government contracts. Oh, I did. Yeah, that's true. That's right. Hundreds of millions of dollars of government contracts, actually. So many strategic wins. One time I was in a meeting with a subcontractor, an executive, and I was sitting across from my boss, and we were in this big, tall high rise in downtown Atlanta, beautiful building. I mean, the entire floor you could see, like it was completely glass. You could see the entire Atlanta skyline. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. You could see the stadium, gorgeous. And I'm sitting across from the executive and my boss, and we're just having a conversation about an upcoming opportunity, a contract. And we're putting together the proposal and talking through it and everything. And the architect, he just takes his pen. He had a beautiful Mont Blanc pen, and he dropped it to the desk, and he goes, Melinda, can you just come work for us? Like stone cold face. And I just started laughing. I was like, like just nervously laughing because I thought to myself, oh, he's got to be joking, right? And my boss, he just started, he was like, his face turned red, beet red. And he was just like, we don't do that. We don't poach people. He was like, well, like she's really good and da 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 da. And I thought to myself, they've had a relationship for over 30 years. What is it that I'm doing that is so valuable, so attracted to them that they would actually argue in front of me? Like it just didn't make any sense. And I looked back at that, and on the way home, I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm missing something. I mean, I'm missing something. These companies are growing. We're hiring like crazy. We're like doing these crazy excursions, like traveling as an office. It's just like, what? This doesn't make any sense. People are arguing about it. I mean, a drop of a hat, people are calling me for advice and support. And I thought to myself, there has to be something I'm doing. You know how when you work so hard, you're looking to make more money, trying to build a business that can run without you, trying to avoid working just to pay the bills, trying to so hard to prove your worth to your clients, to your team, but you're afraid of setting boundaries. Have you ever been in a situation where you were challenged to stand up for what was right? Because it was scary. It's like, I just worked so hard to get these clients. I don't want to lose them. I don't want to say the wrong thing. No matter how hard we work at scaling our businesses, we can't go and work harder. We can't work any faster. We can't do anything other than work smarter. We have to work smarter. So when I realized that something I was doing was smart in making other people money, wealthy, I thought to myself, I wonder if this would work for other small businesses. Because I'm going to share a little bit of my heart with y'all. I can't stand seeing small businesses suffer. Like knowing that it is so easy to win government contracts. You just have to follow the process, the strategy. It's like riding a bike. The first time it was a little shaky. And then after a while, you're like, I never have to learn how to ride a bike again. And I decided to start documenting my system because I was tired of seeing small businesses struggle financially, who are amazing at what they do, but they're just getting drowned out by all of the noise on the internet. And I love the internet because it brought me to you. I also want to make sure that I'm leveraging this other world that is full of abundance, that gets to be something you pass on to your kids and your kids' kids, that's going to be around no matter what changes on the internet, what Web3 is going to do, what AI is going to do. There's always going to be government contracts. That's the potential. It is embedded into how the US works, its functions. And it's not just the US that you can do government contracts with. There's other governing countries like UK, Canada, Mexico, so many others. And when we think about the opportunity that's available and what has been unlocked because of the internet, it's like, why are they struggling? Why is it so hard for people to find clients when there are literally clients lined all the way around the building waiting to give you money? You just have to get it set up once. It's like there's a saying, and I say it often, I love it. Set it and forget it. It used to be an infomercial. Do y'all remember the infomercial? Set it and forget it. You can just like set it and forget it. Like set up your business, doing business with the government. And here's the thing. Here's the other part. What's so amazing is that when you start winning government contracts and you start serving and delivering amazing value with, like I know you will, oh my goodness gracious, they'll start calling you. See, the goal is to get on their speed dial. When they have a small project, they're like, we just really need this website tweak real quick. It's not that big of a project. Do we have anybody that we know that we can call quickly and just do a quick direct deposit? Like, no, just, it's not like same terms as you do now. The government is printing money every single day. Over $1 trillion in federal spending is trickled down, and a portion of that is set aside. Billions are set aside for small businesses. So what if we just go get it? Like, what if we just go get our money? Like, we just stop like acting like it's hard and just go do that. Because like what's hard is like not having revenue and not being able to grow your business. What's hard is just staying stuck. What's hard is staying in confusion. What's hard is staying overwhelmed. Type go get it in the chat if you want to go, just go get your money. Go get more revenue, go get more consistency, go get more clients, go get your time back, go get your life back, go get what's already waiting for you. Go get it. It didn't matter the size of the company or the scale of the project. I was helping them win. And then I started my business, and then I was scared. Y'all know what I was scared about? Give me an idea. Like, do you guys know, like, do you guys have an idea of what potentially I was scared about? Can I just like tell you right now? Like, I was terrified. I was scared to use this system I created that was working over and over and over again. I was so terrified. Do you know what I was scared of? I was scared it was going to work. I was scared that I had to be in a certain situation in order for it to work. I needed to work with big corporations. I needed to work with multi 7, 8-figure businesses. What's really fun is I still do that, but I get to work with 6 and 7-figure businesses. I get to work with 6-figure businesses that are just like, they have a little bit of experience and are like, we just want to start winning government contracts. Or there's another program, I'm not pitching that today, but like there's another program where I help businesses actually get started so that they are preparing their business to win government contracts. It is so much fun. It is so much fun when you don't rely on one way to get clients, one way to make money. You start making money while you sleep, while someone else is working for you, while you can, oh man, there's just, y'all, I get so excited. I tell you, I was completely scared. And I kept working. And I was terrified. I was terrified. But I did it. I did it. I remember for my first client, I was like, I can do this for you. I can. But you would be like the first, like size. And she was like, I trust you. It's okay. And she let me do it. She let me help her create a winning proposal for her 6-figure business that ended up winning contracts. And in fact, she took that same proposal. She's been tweaking that sucker for like years. I call her, I'm like, do you need an update? She's like, no, I'm good. It is that good. She's like, I'm just editing here, tailoring here, modifying here. It's the same proposal about everybody. And so it becomes the part of a brand. Their expectation is, oh, I see your cover. I know it's you. Oh, I see your graphics. I know it's you. Oh, yeah. We got to see this because she is so good. So good. Dory says, I am a visionary. I am great at the vision and putting on a paper, but I need to get my ducks in order, like the paperwork stuff. 100%. I hear you. I hear you. We're going to talk about that. So it was first one client, and then the next, and then 6, and the 6-figure, and another 6-figure, another 6-figure, another 7-figure. And then there was like 7 figures and 8 figures and 8 figures and 9 figures. And, there was other billion-dollar companies we were helping. And so the entire gamut, same strategy, different industries, different services. I mean, coaching, speaking, music, like a musician, like all over the place. Strategy the same, working the same. And I'm thinking, it's working. It's working. It's finally working. Like Frankenstein, it's alive, it's alive. Like, I was just so excited because I was like, this is working, it's live, it's alive. And I'm helping all these people, and they're so happy with the results, and they get it. They're getting into new system, they're getting into new worlds. They're so confident, they're so clear the process that it's just doing business. It's just doing business. And it's a really cool thing is that their current clients were like, you do business with the government? Oh, it's like an authority builder too. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's so cool. All right. So that's where I was in corporate America, transitioned to my business. And in just the last 4 years, I've helped my clients achieve over $4.4 billion. That's with a B, y'all. With a B. $4 billion in government contracts. People are like, oh, so you sure about that? Is that, oh, yes, I have done the numbers many times. I have done them because I didn't believe it the first time or the second time or the 20th, 56th time I looked at it, because I thought to myself, it's just me. Yeah, have you ever felt like you couldn't do big things? Have you ever felt that where you were just like, you needed to stay small? Like, I can't do big things. It's only me. You see, the other part of that equation was I needed to actually respect the expertise of my clients because they were doing the work. I was just helping them. I was guiding them to the front door. That's it. I was just saying, hey, introduce you to ABC company, introduce you to, because I believed in them, and they just borrowed my belief. And then they saw what they were capable of doing. And then that turned into confidence. And then the client had confidence in them. And it became this beautiful relationship over and over again across the entire United States and many other countries. I'm so excited about that. But I just wanted to share with you before we open it up for questions is I just want to share with you a few of my clients, my amazing, amazing clients. So this is Mark and Ed, and they came to me during the panorama, and one of their partners had decided to leave. Like, this is pull some popcorn out or some tea, y'all. This is tea. The partner started the business in 2006 with them, and then during the pandemic, a global pandemic, he decided to start a new business and take half of the team with him. Oh, but it gets better. In the same city. Yeah. I mean, talk about lightning striking in that area. I'm like, don't even call me, guy. I don't want to be involved with you. Like, you're anti-proverbs. You're just like not doing what God's calling you to do. And he did that, and they called me, and Mark and Ed called, and they were just like, we really need help. We really need help. I was introduced to them. And they were like, if you can just help us on the back end with the proposals so that we can just keep nurturing our clients. Oh yeah, by the way, that partner took a portion of their clients with them. And they were just like, we need to rally up and reconnect with all of our clients while we're doing all this stuff, right? Can you just help us with the government contract stuff? Can you just help us with that? I said, sure. I said, what's your strategy? What's your plan? Plan? Strategy? Oh, that guy, he left. He took all of that. Got it. You guys go handle that. I'll handle this. And for 18 months, we won over $2 billion in contracts for them. 1 billion was just like, 10 million here, a million here, 20 million here. It was accumulation. And then the last contract we won for them, which was so beautiful because at that point they went literally they went back to 60. God don't like ugly, y'all. So they went back to what they had, restored completely, had better team members, and they were able to hire internal help, which I was able to help train. And that last $1 billion contract set them up. And here's the thing, they didn't think they were going to win. They didn't think that they were going to win. Let me tell you something. It's a story. They said, no, we just want to be in front of the client because we want to do business with this client in the future. See, they had already established themselves lower. And I was like, you guys are just A-okay. You're going to do just fine. Let's just work on this. I think you're going to win. They're like, no, we're not. We don't have that experience. We don't have that experience. And we've never done this. We never done it this size. Like, they don't have any experience that's done. And I said, okay. So we worked on the strategy, we worked on the proposal. It was just like, it was a big deal. Obviously, it was $1 billion contract. It wasn't like a 24-hour turnaround, and that strategy won them the contract. I remember one of their guys called me after the interview, and he was like, we just got awarded. So, thank you. Like, he had no idea what to say. And I was like, no problem, Tony. It's okay. Like, I'm not sure. We're just gonna sit around and make sure the contract gets signed. But yeah, it looks really good. Thank you so much. And that was that. Let me show you another one. Let me share with you another one. So that, that company they were 7 figures. Talk about acceleration in 18 months. This guy, he started his business in 2019, a year before the panorama. Can you imagine starting your business? Like, maybe you had start your business before the panorama, and then the panorama happens and you're like, what? I don't know what to do. All of this change. This is crazy. Everything is closing. The world is shifting. During the pandemic, he was able to win 7 out of 7 proposals. While everybody was going crazy, while everything was going nuts, he's winning proposals. And his company was just starting out. Here's a partner. I love this. This is one of our stories. We have a whole library of stories called David and Goliath, because Parna, she started her business in 2018. She's always been a company of one. She decided that. She was like, I don't want to hire a lot of people, but I always want to do my work. I want to do my work, and maybe I'll sub here and there. And she came to me and she says, I've always been a subcontractor. I've never been a prime. And I'm a 6-figure business owner. I don't know if I should go after this one. And I said, let's take a look. Let's take a look. So we went through, and in my program, I have a checklist. So you want to make sure that you're suited for this, so that you don't invest time. Because again, what is our largest asset is time. So we're like, okay, we just want to make sure that we're not going to waste time here. So it was that all the checks were in her favor. We worked and built out the strategy, the entire proposal. Guys, do you know that Aparna won $1 million contract competing against 11 competitors? All of them had teams. So the first thing I was like, what? This is amazing. And then a little bit, okay, because Melinda was dealing with some imposter syndrome at that time. So I was like, I wonder if it has something to do with her price. I did a comparison. She was in line with everyone else. Make that make sense. When it's about strategy, positioning, clarity, and you know what you know, and you present that, I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Panorama. Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad you're inspired. I'm glad, because I want to inspire, and I want to empower you to move. Like, I was on a podcast recently, and they asked, like, so what, like, what do you want to do? And I said, they're like, do you want to make a lot of money? I was like, that's just a byproduct of helping people. But truly, like, what will really make me happy, I'm the girl that, like, I like cooking for people. Like, when people come to my house and I will, don't get me with a dinner party. I used to host so many dinner parties, and I would prepare for a week. You would leave well fed and happy, smiling for days, because I made sure that I knew what you liked, and I cooked it really well. I like the best of the best ingredients for you and delivered it. And so, like, I'm someone who is a servant heart. My goal with my business is to be servant hearted in that way. Like, if I can help people move to get out of their own way, to, like, alleviate the overwhelm, the concern, the craziness, the stress, because like, that's what we all do. We're all conditioned that way. This world conditions us this way because they want us to stay stuck and broke, because that makes them more money. If there's a system that is controlling you, it is already happening. It already happened. It happened with our parents and our parents' parents and our parents' parents' parents. And so what we have to see is that we have to embrace the change, because what the change is doing is revealing the system. So instead of being under the system, we can help create the system. We can help create something that's going to serve other people. So if I get the opportunity to help other people move so that they can unlock generational wealth, impact in their community, I mean, big, small, all between, actually just be satisfied with how they show up in the world. When you lay down in the ground, you're like, I am done. I did everything I wanted to do, no regrets. Then it'll be like the best dinner party ever, because I'll know that I've done everything. Okay, I'm done with my soapbox. Let's open it up for questions. Go ahead and raise your hand with the little reaction icon at the bottom. It looks like a heart. Dory, what's up? Let's see if I can unmute you. Can I unmute? There you go. Okay.
Hi, Melinda. First of all, I just you had me at hello back when we met at the podcast. I love everything about what you do, how you do it, the way you do it. I think you're amazing. I got to say that. Um, I'm listening to you, and we're so much alike, except for the fact that you got your ducks in order, and I don't. And I wrote it in the chat. Here's my deal. I have a vision that God gave me back in 2018 that is so huge, but so real. And I put it on the shelf when I had to stop and take care of my dad who had Alzheimer's. And just miraculously it's coming off the shelf this year. Just it's so organic that I know that it has to be God and it has to be done. But I am a sloppy boppy mess after the vision. Like I don't know how to. It's not an LLC. It's not a nonprofit. I don't. I have a tax ID number, but it's for the wrong company. Everything is a mess. And
Okay.
I don't know where to. I know where to start, but I don't have the patience or my. You see, I'm doing my nails while I'm talking because I have this thing where I got to keep moving and I got to work on that. But I need to put this thing in place because the world is waiting for this thing. And I can't even put it out there because I don't have my stuff protected, but the world is waiting for this. And I know it because I feel it in my heart. And it's going to help so many people and so many families. And it's going to be gigantic. And I had consultants look at it who said, "Ooh, this is gigantic." I was scared to show it to anybody else because it was so big. But I'm a hot mess on the back end. I mean, mess, girl, just like a mess. Just like
Yeah.
these nails on this head I didn't do yet. So that's my issue. And I
Okay.
want government contracts, but I know you got to have your ducks in order.
Yeah. 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 Because it's not like give it up for Lori right now. This is so vulnerable, and I'm so glad and grateful that you're being vulnerable right now because I want to help. So, in any type of business, government or not, order is key. Order is key because it's one less thing that will keep you up at night. Order is key. So we just have to, and it sounds like you've done all the work, but maybe we need to go back to the order of things. Like you've created an LLC for a different business. So maybe we'll just set that aside for a second, create a new LLC. You can do that. You can literally do that in 5 minutes, right? While your nails are drying later on today. And that will at least start the process, because what's going to happen, okay, all right, I'll say it. By not having order, you're blocking your own blessings.
I know. I already know.
So, okay, all right, so what we need to do is we need to go step by step through every decision you're making and eliminate. Because oftentimes I find that with myself and my clients is that whenever there is disorder, it's because it's tied to fear. It's tied to some set of fear. And you know that, like you already know what it is, because that's why you're saying, I need to get order. So you already know what it is. We need to go back to step-by-step guide. How do you get government contracts from that? Is really just the decision to move forward with clarity. Because I mean, we've had conversation about so many things. I've seen how your business is. You show up and you are a powerhouse. So it's not the fact that you're just like, you know what I mean? Like you're just kind of haphazardly doing things. It is something about this that you're afraid for this assignment because it might be tied to what you see yourself as. Like, I can't, that's really big because I think I need this. But then I think I need this. And it just kind of like gets thrown in and it's not intentionally organized. Anytime you grow and scale something, anything, even if it's a plant, there has to be order. So my question back to you is, why do you want to do government contracting?
Well, here's what's all, and I'm going to be super vulnerable here. Um, I have always been the person who other people know is that girl, if that makes sense to you. I have a gift that I didn't ask for, but sometimes it scares the bejesus out of me. I'm an amazing speaker, I'm an amazing leader, but I also have suffered with debilitating depression in the past, to the point where I would get to a place where I was about to launch something huge and I would find myself in the bed after that for 6 months. It's like something always stops me at that point, and it used to always show up as depression. And I was just telling a friend this morning that I think I've learned the lesson, so I don't have to go around that mill again, because I don't feel it anywhere near me. I don't feel it anywhere near me. And I would always feel it near me, but I don't even think it's in my vicinity anymore. I really do believe that this is my season. But I've always showed up as authentic. And one thing that I think I have a little issue with, even when I look at you, you're so polished. I'm not you look, I got my sweatshirt on, I got my nails, doing my nails, but that's who I am. And some part of me always thought I had to be a little bit more this or a little bit less that. And I even coined myself, and my kids get mad at me. I said, I'm the girl from the hood who wants to do good. And they say, Mom, stop Fresh Prince with the two parents and the intercom in your house when you grew up. You are not the girl from the hood. You lived in a house where y'all had an intercom. You had a mom and dad at home. Cut it out. That's not your mantra. But it made me feel comfortable because I'm so, loosey goosey. So now I have to figure out how I can, because I like who I am.
Yeah.
And people like me.
Yes.
It always worked. But I even think I have money blocks because I'm always, and I say this just for this, I'm always broke. Like I don't even have money. Like if I wanted to take your course, I'm like, okay, where can I borrow the money? I should not be. I should be a millionaire with the skills that I have, but something is blocked. And I need to break that this year. And I'm determined to make it happen.
So I do this. Thank you for that, because so money has, and this goes back to the system, y'all. This is especially here in the United States. If you're here in the United States, this is how it is. The money is considered an identity. Like it's always tied to status. It's always tied to, well, like in order to have all the things, you have to have money. It changes who you are, right? In my experience, money, and this is just, it's reflected in any good book about how to be a millionaire, or even in the Bible, it's like money is just a magnification of who you are. That's all it is. So if we're not happy with who we are, then it makes it hard for money to be attracted to us. But you're not unhappy with who you are. You're really comfortable with who you are. I would say that it's not necessarily about who you are today as much as it is who you want to be. Because where money comes in is like, well, you might be like, hey, I can make $1 million. I can make $1 million. You know what I mean? Like, I can make $1 million. I can make $1 million. But what is the plan? What are the steps, step by step by step by step, in order to accomplish that? And how does that make you feel? Because if it turns your heart a little bit, and if there's anything stirring, then yes, it is a money block. It is you saying that there is value greater than me in money. It should be like waking up in the morning. It should be like putting an event on your calendar. It should be like making breakfast. It is just something. Like, it's just a tool. We just expect it to be there. It's an expectation. It's never a need. It's never a desire. We just expect it to be there. That's what money is supposed to be. It's a tool. Like, we expect the hammer to be in the garage when we need it. We expect money to be in the bank account. We don't, when we start desiring and needing it, and that's when we focus on lack and we can't focus on abundance. And it has more to do with our self-awareness than it does about attracting money, if that makes sense. So where I would say is start with like where you want to be and start becoming that person now, and see if it aligns to who you say you are now.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really the unlock. It's like, I say, I'm telling myself every day an affirmation, I'm a powerhouse speaker. I move people into their purpose. I say that every single day. So in my mind, I'm not thinking like, oh, well, I don't have a million people following me right now. I think I am the person that I want to be now and not waiting for perfect timing, because perfect timing doesn't exist. I have to create my timing. So it has to happen now. The other thing that I'll do right now, this is completely off the book, but this is something that is really helpful, is practicing your zeros. This is something that we can all do. It's practicing your zeros. So what does that look like? Practicing your zeros is writing out every day your millions. Like, how far can you go? How low can you go? Let me show you. Let me show you guys. So I started doing this a few years ago, about 8 years ago, when I was deciding to make some really big changes in my life. And I wanted to see more money in my life, but I had to be accepting, like you have to be accepting and receiving of things. And so you start looking at them, and it's hard. It's really challenging, because it's like, maybe you have a vision board, right? Maybe you have like specific goals and you can see that, right? You go on a vacation, you're like, I want to be here next year. You see a car, you're like, that's going to be my car, right? You have a visual representation. When you can visualize something, it attracts it closer to you. It's a programming that we have in our minds. So when we focus on something that we don't have more than what we want, it's like we attract even more of what the thing that we don't want. So how we do the practicing your zeros is you're going to put a dollar sign. And then from the right-hand side of the farthest side of the page, you're going to just keep adding the zeros as far as you can. Now, you might say to yourself, I can go that far. Cool. Tomorrow, I want you to add another zero. I want you to get comfortable saying that, okay, there's 8 zeros there. Well, then that means that the dollar sign has to change. Can I put in 1 here? I have $100 million. Can I say that confidently? Can I say that with gumption and like conviction? I have $100 million. Like, try it right now. Like, see if you can do it. I have $100 million. Like, how does that feel? It might feel silly. It might feel weird, right? You say it over and over and over and over again, and it just, you get comfortable with it. It's like putting fertilizer in the soil. Weeds can't live in it. Like, they start to like dwindle towards like the right. You're like, oh, this is easy to pull up and just knock this sucker out, because it can't live in it. It can't live in goodness. So like, if you just call out what you want every day, do your zeros every single day. I recommend doing it at the beginning of the day. For me, I do it in the beginning of the day because I'm most energized and I'm thinking about the day, like, what am I accomplishing? But I think about, I've gotten to $1 billion. So I'm like, I'm going to be $1 billion. I am a billionaire. I am a billionaire. I am a billionaire. I say it constantly over and over again. Why? Because I don't want money to control me. I control money. It's a tool. I am elevating myself above the system. And it's a conditioning that we have to do every day. So I would say those two things is, first, order, like, why do I want to do this? Why do I want to do this? And go back through the steps, like step 1, I can help you with this. So go back through the steps, like step 1, step 2, step 3. What do I need to do to get clarity on where I am right now and where I want to go? That's called a plan. Like, no 20-page documents, just a 1-sheet plan. but you're going to tie this emotion to it. So you're going to write out the plan, but you're going to tie it to an emotion. What does it feel like to be the person that has accomplished the thing? Always, because that helps you recondition subconsciously. And then practice your zeros every day. I am, I have. It's always in the present tense, never in the future, never like I will one day. Because your brain says, well, then I don't need to worry about it right now. What happens when there's an emergency, right? In life, you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. But your brain figured it out because you have already put a timeline on it. You're like, I need to do this urgently right now. It needs to get done right now. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't have all the resources, but I'm going to figure it out. And what happens? We always figure it out. Always. Mm-hmm. So if we put it in the present tense, our brain knows to act on it now. Whenever we say things in the future, like one day we will have, or I'm working towards, or no, I am getting it now. It's working. I get it. I'm making money. It's millions of dollars that I have in my bank account. I have practice it over and over again to get comfortable with where you're at.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Thank you. That's really good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Absolutely. Good question. Anybody else have questions? This is good. Thank you, Dory. You're so awesome. I love Dory. I love you.
One thing, this is my 60th year. I'm 60 years old this year. And this is going to be my best year ever. And I know I met you for a reason, and it was not by accident. And watch what happens at 60.
Amen. Oh man, I can't wait. I already have my cowbell and my blowhorn. I'm ready. Let's go. Tell me when. I am ready. I'll be there. Because this is like that we were meant to not survive. We were meant to thrive, every single one of us. And the thing that has been holding people back, and this is psychological, this is human behavior, this is written in books and white papers, just journals all over the place. The thing that holds us back is what's in our brain, like what we tell ourselves. That's it. You're like, well, I can never be an Elon Musk. I can never be this billionaire or trillionaire. I can never do, oh man, I think it was Forbes who did a report on that the turn of the century. So by 2030, we will have the billionaires, the new billionaires will be trillionaires. Do you know what that means, y'all? Then the millionaires will be billionaires. Then the standard will be millionaires. What? You see how money is just like, it's not a thing? Because if it can change that way, then the only person that's stopping it is us, which is great, because that means it could change anytime. We could change it anytime. We could fix ourselves anytime. We can just fix our focus on what matters most and then accelerate our growth exponentially. So cool. All right. What time is it? Let's take a quick break. Let's take like a 5-minute break. And let's circle back here with some more good stuff. Okay. Does that sound good? 5 minutes? All right. All right, we are back. Welcome back. Got a little bio break, a little water, practicing our zeros. Let's go, let's go. So excited. All right. Woohoo! What's up, Joey? Let's do some quick takeaways. Warming back up. Anybody want to share some takeaways for today? Takeaways? Whew. All right. I think everybody's just thinking. Let's just think. All right. What I want to share with you today is writing winning proposals. I still want to accomplish that goal because I still think if we know how to do the things, the step-by-step things, then we're more likely going to accomplish them. Can I just can we agree with that? Like when we have the step-by-steps, because sometimes, sometimes you get information and it's like, that sounds great. I'm going to apply it, but I have nowhere to start. I have no idea how to start. So here's what I'm going to say about government contracts. This is not a easy, quick way for you to just stay broke. Like this is the opposite of that. This is a fast way for you to grow and scale your business, hands down. And the way to do it, the way that I have found that works so well is when you look at it as a business move opposed to just getting money. Because there is a different perspective. There's a different perspective. This is about wealth creation. So how many of you remember being told to go to school, go to college, get a job, like 1.5 kids, white picket fence, like it didn't matter what color you were just like, that's what it was. That's what our parents wanted for us. They were like, go to school, gotta get a good job. That's just what it is. That's how you survive. Like, for whatever reason, the idea was that like we were supposed to come to this planet to survive. No, like that wasn't a part of the plan at all. That wasn't the intention, is just to survive. We are intended to thrive. But like, did anybody else pay for college? And like, is anybody still paying for college? You're like, it's okay. We're not going to judge. Because like at the end of the day, college was a part of this journey. Everything was purposeful and intentional. But can we just agree that no one taught us to be wealthy in college? Like they just taught us how to work for someone else and help them get wealthy. So I want to share with you the 4 levels of value. And I first heard this from Myron Golden, and he taught it. And I want to share it with you because it changed the way I think. It's just a complete game changer. All right. Take some notes. Okay. So the 4 levels of value start out with implementation. The implementers. Implementation, people at the implementation level are like they're exchanging their muscle to make money. They're using their body to make money. This could be like painters, landscapers, washing your car, detailing your car, doing your nails, like implementers, people that use their hands to make money. They're using their muscles to make money. There is this cap. This is kind of like based off research. There's an estimate of how much money they make a year. And it's anywhere between like $60,000 and $80,000. And the lie that they believe at implementation is that working harder equals wealth. Like, how many of you have heard that? or believed it. Like, oh, we just got to work harder. I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I think it was just a slip. And she was like, so this is working. So we just need to do this more. We need to work harder. And I was like, nope. I was like, we're going to need to work smarter and actually do less, because if it's working, it's kind of like a rocket ship that takes off out of orbit, right? Have you ever seen a rocket ship? If you know this, maybe you know this, is that when a rocket ship, I don't have to do the back and forth, but like when a rocket ship takes off the Earth, it uses all of its energy to get out of orbit. And once it's in orbit, once it has passed that layer, it can actually circle the Earth without any energy. What? Y'all, like, we've been lied to. This is literally science. Right? So that's the implementation. That's a lie. You can see that this is a lie. It's like, wait a minute, if a rocket could do that, I am better than a rocket. Okay, the next level is unification. And at this level, the resource people use to make money is managing other people. Has anybody had to manage people before? My gosh, exactly. It's like, it's kind of like that. There's a movie where the therapist went to go see her therapist. Like, I feel like that's what happens to managers. They're like, I need to go to therapy because I've been a therapist all day. I've been a therapist. I have been doing all the things. And this is where, this is where the term golden handcuffs came from. It's like there's a lot of people who are like, man, I want to leave 9 to 5. I want to leave corporate so bad. I want to leave so bad. It's like, why don't you leave? The money's good, man. It's like the money is so good. But that means that you have to exchange your time, your life. You're basically on call 24/7. Ask me how I know. We're holidays. You are working in the office on Thanksgiving. Whew. But there's a cap to their financial freedom, if you will, financial freedom. And it's $40,000 to $500,000. $500K, that's not bad. I'm not gonna, that's not bad at all. For the exchange of life. Like, we see this, and media does a great job of depicting this really well, really making it sexy, like I'm rewatching a season of Suits. You guys see the show Suits? And they're all like lawyers and they're arguing with each other. It's hilarious. But like they're making all of this money. They're making all of this money, and like it's never an image or a scene of them enjoying their money. They're just always working. They're always working, like all the time. Like in the middle of the night, they're working. They're just talking about business. It's always work, work, work. You don't see them with like beautiful families, taking beautiful excursion trips. None of that. It's just like they're just working. And the lie at unification that they believe is that more education equals success. I just need to add a few more letters. I'm just not the best. I need to get certified. I need to go back to school and give more money to the system that keeps me broke. I need to keep doing this. Unless you are an engineer, a doctor, or a lawyer, I hesitate to say this, but truly is it in my heart, I don't believe there's a necessity. I mean, technology has made it so. So the next level here is communication. Oh man. Now we're talking. Communication, the level where it's acceptable to slap someone on the face on national television and still make hundreds of millions of dollars. Too soon? So communicators are actors and singers and speakers and coaches and consultants and salespeople. They're just like people who use their mouth to make millions. They're the actors in the movies that we love to watch. They're on the TV shows. They're singing these beautiful songs that we love to listen to. They are the ones that have figured out using communication to get their message out into the world. And their cap somewhere between like 100,000 and 100 million. Oops, 100 million. Okay, now we're talking 100 million. Because communicators have mastered conversation that makes cash flow. Communicators have mastered conversation that makes cash flow. Now, there are paid speakers, presenters, coaches, consultants, actors, singers, salespeople. I mean, we're all salespeople because we got businesses, so we got to sell something. And we have to use our mouth to make money. And not only just money, but millions. $100 million, that's nice. Communication is from the heart. It is when someone can write a song and move you because they use their heart to write the words. The lyrics move you so that you can feel what they're feeling. So powerful. Okay. Now, it gets, how am I going to say, more better. Gets more better. Imagination is the fourth level of the 4 levels of value. Imagination. These are like Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk. Who else we can say this about? I mean, I can't remember the CEO's name of NVIDIA, but can you imagine what his imagination needed to be in order to go from a multi-million-dollar business to a billion-dollar business in less than 14 months? Y'all, like, imagination. Like, how many of you use your imagination all the time? Right? We're always using our imagination. Now, how many of you are saying to yourselves, oh, that's a great idea, but it's just too big? Like, what if Walt Disney said that? What if Walt Disney said this idea is just too big? Yeah, so it might be your computer, Gabby. Let me just say yes. Everybody can hear me? It's okay? Thumbs up? Okay. Okay. Yes, it might be. You can watch the recording. Okay. All right. So imagination. So what's the cap that they got? Like what are we talking about numbers wise? Anybody want to guess in the chat? Give me a billion, Story says. Love it. Billions. Who else? Anybody else got some ideas? I love this one. Ooh-wee. I could do the Jeopardy song, but that doesn't fit, right? So I'll just keep singing. Dun, 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 dun. Any other guesses? No cap, maybe, as far as your imagination can take you, and you would be correct. There is no cap. There is an infinite supply of money for people who are at the imagination level. They're imagining an offer. They're imagining the next offer, service, product, system, community, world. Walt Disney World is like the entertainment parks of entertainment parks. He set a standard. Like how, like when people like, imagine this, like let's just kind of like go back in time. I was talking to a few years ago when I moved back to Orlando from Atlanta. I met a gentleman, and he was the apprentice to the architect who designed Disney World here in Orlando, Florida. And he explained that the story of Walt Disney was like this story about a man who pretty much believed an idea that nobody else believed in. And he kept working at it. He kept fighting for it. And when it started to come to fruition, when he finally had the land, he finally had the financing, he finally could afford to get an engineer and an architect, and he finally could take the vision off of like these scribbles that he created and create like this amazing physical thing that people could experience. It was a blueprint for what could potentially exist in the world. And it's interesting, he said, it's interesting that there are very few, if any, copies of Walt Disney's World. And that really kind of stuck out to me because I thought to myself, that's true. There are only one Amazon. There is only one Walt Disney World. Now, you know, there's other ones, but they're nowhere near the imagination that exists. Like, can you imagine if you just like unlocked your like what's been holding you back and just step into that reality of I can create whatever I want down to the details of intricacy and creativity and structure and order. Oh, so beautiful. So it makes sense at that level that there is infinite opportunity. So where have we been like surviving? We've needed to survive at imagination. Because we are not supposed to survive, we're supposed to thrive. I needed that in the chat. See, broke people, they stay at level 1 and 2. They stay broke. Wealthy people jump to 3 and 4 as fast as they can. No matter how many no's I get, I'm gonna get a yes. In the book, The Success Principles by Jack Canfield, he talks about this. He goes, I am so excited to get no's because I know I'm going to get closer to my yes. Because here's the takeaway. It's not about working harder. It's about working higher. Wealth isn't attracted to hard work. Wealth isn't attracted to my effort. Wealth isn't attracted to my long hours. Wealth isn't attracted to my stress. Wealth isn't attracted to my overwhelm. Wealth isn't attracted to being chained to your desk. Wealth is attracted to working higher, not harder. So how many of you are tired of working hard on what's already not working? So just jump to level 3 and 4 and stop working on things that no longer work. When you start winning government contracts, you're going to get rid of a lot of stress and a lot of overwhelm. So let's just quantum leap to level 4 and start writing winning proposals. Does that sound more fun? Wave at me if that's good. Yeah. It's like, yes, please. Imagine working less, making more, having more freedom to do what you want, when you want, on your time, all while being celebrated by your clients. And the coolest part is your clients will be the ones who are the most grateful. Your clients will be the ones getting the results the fastest. Your clients will be the recipients of value, and you're going to get wealthy in the process. How many of you want wealthy people problems? Like, hello, I don't know about you, but what am I gonna, like, I don't know what to do about taxes. Let's make that the problem. This is what happens when we deliver so much value. It's wealthy mindset. All right, so let's dive into the system so that we can get wealthy, shall we? Okay. Y'all, I'm going to keep an eye out on Gabby and make sure that she's all right. All right, so let me share my screen again. Now, since we're going to talk about the proposal, we're also going to cover the system. Because if I tell you about the proposal and I don't tell you the system, it just doesn't make sense. So let's put it all in the right frame, shall we? All right, so the first thing, let's move this up. There you go. So the first thing is, step one is prepare. We're talking about the Govcon sales strategy. Okay. Is prepare. This is when we want to make sure we got all our ducks in a row. This is sexy status for me. I love this. Because here's the thing. When you are prepared, man, your confidence goes through the roof. Like, it's just boom, just goes. Nobody can get on your way. One of the things I studied is that poor people are slow to prepare on almost everything. In fact, it's a pattern. Rich people prepare quickly. Somebody type quick in the chat, if that makes sense. You could see that. I'm going to push you a little bit because I want you to take action. I want you to take quick action. So by the end of this masterclass, you're taking such massive action, and you're going to need to make some quick decisions. And the first decision you're going to need to make is to decide, let me see, make sure you see my eyes, decide to go pro. Are we deciding to go pro? My notes. There you go. What do I mean by that? I mean, you're going to have to stop hiding and finally decide, I'm being called to contribution that I am going to make before I leave Earth. Assume that identity of who you really are, which is who I'm talking to, and step up. Amateurs, they won't show up to a masterclass like this. Amateurs don't invest in themselves like you're doing right now. Amateurs will stay afraid. Pros take action. Pros stop caring what everybody thinks. Right now, divorce yourself from everything someone will say about you and just go pro. Like right now, say, that's it. You said, I could do this. I couldn't do this. They said that I don't have what it takes. They said that I didn't have the personality. They said that I didn't have the talent. They said that I didn't have the capability. They said that I didn't have what it is to make it great. They said that it would work for me. It wouldn't. They said, who do you think you are? But I'm here to say, Say what you want to. I'm going to pro right now. Somebody type in the chat pro, because the amateurs are going through stuff at you. They're going to throw all different types of stuff to the sidelines, but they're never going to get into the arena. The amateurs are going to talk behind your back and criticize and say all these terrible things, but they will never go pro. Sticks and stones, baby. And just say, that's okay. I love you anyway, but I'm going pro. Because if you're with me right now, type yes in the chat. There's a need. There's something in you that needs to step out and become a pro. You need to see that you inside of you, that you that has been hiding, that you that's been afraid, that you that is ready to take center stage. So we need to first prepare. How many of you have talked about government contracts within your circle of friends, or maybe you just thought about it? You're like, this is something I got to do. Let me know. I'm ready. Dory's like, I am ready. Let's go pro. That's what it is. Yes. Good. Because I will guide you. Dory says, I never talked about it until I met you. Oh, I am so grateful to reveal. The industry standard for winning proposals is 10 to 20%. I don't know about you, but I don't like doing things 10 times to win once. Like, doesn't really make me excited to do it, right? That's 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. My win rate for government contracts, for proposals, winning proposals, is 8 out of 10. Because I love to win. I love it. Do you love to win? I love to win. Man, I'm like 1 out of 10. No, thank you. Please accept my condolences, because we are 8 out of 10 over here. So small businesses, often they're securing anywhere between $50,000 and $100,000 for your initial projects. The initial contract is usually between $50,000 and $150,000, especially for service businesses. It's more about sequence than anything. Step number 2 is target. You know, this is not written here, but I need to tell y'all. I love this system because when I was working in 9 to 5 and learning government contracting, there was no playbook. There was no blueprint. There was definitely not no strategy. Like, you had to just figure it out. And it was a lot of copy and pasting. And I'm like, this is like, if we're just copying and pasting, like, that doesn't sound fun. I'm competitive. I like to win. So I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing. I'm going to be better. I'm always going to stand out and be the best. So when I came up with target, this was one of the things that most people don't do. People usually go from prepare to find an RFP, prepare to like just respond. And this is where the money's at. This is the money shot. It is how you know who is buying what you are selling. This is find out who is buying what you are selling. That is target. Prepare is like about your business. Like, what do you want to sell? Are you ready to sell? What is your capabilities? Because you might see $1 million opportunity and be like, ooh, I like that, $1 million. Yeah, I want to get $1 million. And you start preparing and you're like, yeah, I'm not really set up to $1 million. And the deadline gets closer and closer and closer and just causing you unnecessary stress. We're not trying to stress. We're trying to be a success. Look at that. I just wrote that. It was really good. So we're trying to be a success. We need to focus on target. If you know who's buying what you're selling, it just makes it so much easier. So I'm going to show you one of the tools that I use to do that. I call it the opportunity matrix. This is a part of the system. I love this thing. Okay. Oh, my Windows and such. So this is the opportunity matrix, opportunity tracker matrix, project matrix. And what this does is you put all of your opportunities. You're fishing already. I already know you're doing it. Like you go into sam.gov and then you might hear about something in Texas and Houston and Austin. And like, you're just like, oh, I got something in Orlando, right? And you're just like, kind of, oh yeah, it's all in your head. Do you know your brain is not supposed to store something? Your brain is not intended to store. So when you're like adding all this information, it starts to get overwhelming and stressful because you're not using your brain properly. You need to document it. This is where you put it. This is your plan. It becomes something that you use forever. Oh, I felt so good. Because now, like imagine for a second that you figure out that the Department of Defense, a specific department within the Department of Defense, buys what you're selling, and they buy it every single year. Now, how many times are you updating this matrix? You'll learn in the program that it's at least once a quarter. But guess what? You're updating it. You're not creating it again. You already have a past opportunity. You're just like, I know who won. Like, it's done. It's so easy. Set it and forget it, y'all. I think that's going to be on my tombstone because, like, that is just the best phrase I could say about this system. So when you have everything all in one place, those opportunities all in one place, you've done the research, you've looked, okay, these are potentials, blah, blah, blah. This is within my NAICS code, NAICS, your NAICS code. And you're like, okay, I'm finding all these things. Okay, put it in one place, blah, 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 blah. And you put it all in place, and it's across 12 months. So it's across an entire fiscal year. It goes from October 1st to September 31st. And now, you know, based off the budget, now you know what opportunities are potential. Now you can set up your teamings, because you might see that $1 million contract and you realize, you know, I got to get some teaming partners. You got plenty of time now because you're not running against the time clock. Now you have time to go out and do the research, find who else is your partner to be able to potentially win that. Now you're still winning contracts up until that point. So you're not waiting for the perfect timing. You're creating the perfect timing. You're creating the success. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so step number 3. Is strategize. We want to strategize. Once we know, and they're in our opportunity matrix, let me see if I can be stealth and switch from one thing to the next. Boom, look at that. Oh my gosh, really, you're amazing. Once you have this opportunity matrix filled out, you can be really strategic to be like, okay, so the 7 million one, I can do that, but the 100 million one, I can't do that by myself. Let me see what the scope of work is. Let me see who won that pass before. I got a whole checklist and system, everything for y'all. But now you can be really thoughtful about every activity you take. So you talk to some subcontractors. We're going to talk about Govcon stacking. What is Govcon stacking? Oh man, I messed it up. Let me see. It's all right. I got it back. Okay. Govcon stacking. Govcon stacking is where you decide how you want to pursue that opportunity. Whether you want to be prime and have 100% ownership of that contract, whether you want to be a subcontractor under someone else as a prime, so that you're a subcontractor, you're just responsible for your scope of work, you get paid for your scope of work and your scope of work alone. Whether you want to be have a teaming partner like a JV, joint venture, you get to decide how you want to set that up. A middleman. So when you have your opportunity matrix filled out, you're like, it's not a no. It's not a, oh man, I can't do that one. It's a, how can I? This is a wealthy person's mindset. I'm giving you all the glory because this is a wealthy person's mindset. They don't think I can't. They say, how can I? How can you? It's never I can't. It's how can you? All right. So number 4 is submit. Gotta go a little bit quicker because we got some more stuff to cover. Submit. This is the proposal stuff. We're going to come back to that. The proposal is, how can I say this? You are the Sherlock Holmes. You are the BFF to the client. You're saying all the nice, sweet things, right? You're a John Mayer to them, you know? What you're doing is telling them what they need, and you're saying it in a way that can be appealing to them. And you're packaging it in a way that's appealing. We're going to dive into that in a moment. The last step is track. Track. All right, let's come back to that opportunity matrix again, because here's the thing. Once you have it in there, you know, after the fact that you've submitted on bids and you've won them, and some of them you'll lose them. Okay. Now you can go back and you can improve. Now, here's the thing I'm going to say about tracking. I caught a client once because I was like, what are you doing? So what she was doing is she was only improving when she lost. And I said, you always improve when you win or you lose. You always improve when you win or you lose. When you win a contract, you want to know why you won it. Beyond the score. When you lose a contract, you want to know why you lost it beyond the score too. Because you're going to get the scoring, but you want to know why. You really want to know why. You want to get their feedback. Here's what happens when you lose. You lose, you always win. What, Melinda? Say that again. When you lose, you always win. When you put your best foot forward in a proposal or in a bid, and they don't award the contract to you, rest assured that you've introduced your business to the government, and it could potentially open up doors that were not there for everyone else to see. Because there are opportunities that do not need to be advertised. They're like, oh, well, we might have not awarded this to you intentionally so that we can give you this one. Okay. Sounds great to me. So when you lose, you win. That's why we don't want to be afraid of anything. That's why we want to step into everything like we had already won. Like, what would it look like when you just decide that you can never lose in anything? That everything is for you. Even the losses. That's what it is. It's just so much fun. It's such a great world to be in. Okay. So let's circle back to submit and dive into that, because that's why you're here. Are you guys good? Do we need to do a quick break, a quick breather, not a break, but a Q&A, aha moments? Are we good so far? You good? Okay. All right, good, good, good. All right. Get my other notes. Oh, right. So submit. This is the winning proposal formula. I'm giving you the winning proposal formula next. I'm giving you a lot today. I hope that it's making sense, because I don't want to give you a whole bunch of stuff and then it just keeps you stuck, because then I didn't do my job. So if you're like, yeah, this is making sense, I know exactly what I need to do. Okay, all right, I'm getting some nods. Awesome. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to go, I'm going to keep my screen up for a little bit longer. And I think I can do my little head pop thing. Okay, yeah. All right. Scroll up a little bit. So this is the winning proposal formula. This is help my clients running 6-figure businesses, 7-figure businesses, and beyond win 8 out of 10 contracts. So the first step is foundation. Now, oftentimes what happens is when you're looking at opportunities, you don't know what you don't know, right? You're like, I think I can win this one. I don't know what they're asking for, something I don't know if I have that experience. Oh, do I need a certification or a license for this? Right? Like all of these questions start coming up. So what we have is like, it's called a go, no go decision. I'm gonna write it down. Go, no go. A go, no go is a checklist. And it is strategically created to help you make a decision about wasting your time. Like, I don't like wasting my time. My time is the most valuable asset that I have. So every moment of my life, I try to make it intentional. I don't want to be submitting on proposals for opportunities that I know I should not be submitting on. You understand what I'm saying? So we do a go, no go because we want to eliminate all of the emotion tied to it. Even if, because this happens, even if a client, a government client calls you up and says, hey, there's this RFP I'm about to advertise. I think it would be great for you. And you're like, okay, sounds great. You get excited. You see the RFP. You're like, I don't got all this stuff, but I'll do it anyway because she told me to, right? No, well, we need to have a clear conversation with her and explain what, you're potentially bringing to the table that may or may not answer what they're looking for. It's better that you're upfront because you just earn that respect than if you said, well, I did it because you told me to. That's your reputation. Like, yes, government contracting is like a hidden treasure. However, it is a small community. And so you might think you're submitting on the DOD or the city of Austin, but that thing becomes public record. So we always want to be honest and be like, I did see the opportunity, and based off my go no go decision, which is totally, by the way, going to give you so many brownie points because they're going to be like, whoa, you evaluate stuff? Oh, that's cute, Then you say, based on the evaluation, I'm realizing that these are the things that you're asking for that we are not prepared to deliver. The client is going to be so happy with you because they may say, well, just go ahead and submit anyway, right? Or they may say, oh, I completely understand. Yeah, I didn't actually take that into consideration. There's actually something else that would be better fit. I'll circle back with you. Now we are building, this is a part of building a relationship, because we never want them to think that we're something that we're not. We just always want to be clear about it. That's what the Go No Go does. Then we're going to do designations and registration. So I'm going to do abbreviate because these words are long. So this is your certifications, your licenses, your registrations. A lot of people, one of the mistakes that people make is thinking that sam.gov registers you to do government contracts even locally and by state, and that's not true at all. Sam.gov just does federal. You're just right. So even if you said, I'm not ready to do federal, you can still do state and local. Or if you say you want to do all of it, you can. You just need to register your business. And the cool thing about it is you just register once and then you just renew it. You never have to recreate your profile. You just update it when it needs to be renewed. Your certification. So let me talk about certifications, because it is like a buzzword, is like your minority certifications specifically. How can I say this? It's not a necessity. So you don't have to wait to start bidding to get your certification. You can actually start bidding, and you can have your registration. Let me use the right phrase because I want to make sure that it makes sense. So you're applying for your certification. Sometimes it takes 3 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer, to get an approval. And you're like, I got to wait 6 weeks. No, you don't. You actually don't. You actually just need that confirmation that it's under review, and that constitutes as acceptance for a certification. Make sense? So we're not delaying anything from happening with your certification. Do you need a certification? You do not need a certification. It's not necessary. What a certification does is it opens up more opportunities for you to win more bids. That's it. So if you say, I just want to get started, I just want to start getting my feet wet, you can do that 100%. And it doesn't have to be delayed. Like it could be a part of your plan. It doesn't have to be something you do right now. Make sense? So then I'm going to walk you through the next few steps. I'm going to walk you through the process. So I'm going to just put it on my beautiful face for a moment. Oh, Dory has a question. How do you find where you need to register locally in your state? Great question, Dory. So for locally, you're going to look at your city or state. You can actually get registered both places. And you're going to look for either doing business with. It's going to be on their website, doing business with. They're going to use that phrase, doing business with, or they're going to say procurement. They're actually literally going to say procurement on their site. Here in Orlando, they say doing business with. In New York, the state of New York, I believe it says procurement. Because the state of New York also includes, it does say procurement because it includes all the boroughs. So they say the procurement, and then you go under that and you'll see all of the state of New York opportunities, opposed to like the city of Orlando or the city of San Francisco. It's going to be procurement department. And then within that, you'll find all of the opportunities. So every agency is going to be different when it's state and local. Federal, they're all going to say procurement. They're all going to say procurement. So sam.gov, when you go to sam.gov, you're going to the procurement site. Great question. Great question. So when you register, the information you need, I have a checklist. So it's an information you need. You just go through and you're going to provide basic information about your company, your LLC, you're going to ask your LLC, you're going to ask for your NAICS codes, NAICS codes. They're going to ask for your Dun & Bradstreet. You can create a Dun and Bradstreet for absolutely no cost. Very free. Even if you don't have business credit created anyway, there is specific information that the Dun and Bradstreet ask that the government will ask as well. So make sure that information is the same and up to date. And by the way, you don't need to be limited to your state where you live. So you can actually do business in any state, unless the RFP says otherwise, which is very few and far between. I work for an engineering firm, and one of their goals for the project was to get registered in every state in the United States, all 51. They had 2 offices, Georgia and Alabama. So we were able to get them registered. So you're not limited. Okay. Oh, another question. How does your personal credit your affect your bit? So you are established as a business, then they will look at your business credit. Unless, I think 8A, the 8A certification looks at your personal credit, just to make sure like you're not kind of like just basic information, like you would get a job, like you don't have a criminal record, or if you do, explain that, blah, blah, blah. But nothing like, oh, well, nothing about your finances or your credit score or anything like that. No, no, they don't do that. But they do look at your business credit to see, are you, like you're paying expenses on time, like everything that you say that it's in your proposal, in your bid, that you can follow through with. You don't have any delinquencies. You're not in arbitration or any legal problems with your subcontractors, like stuff like that they look at. But they're not looking at your personal credit. They're looking at your business credit, which is why you want to create a Dun and Bradstreet, because that is your business credit, your credit ID. Great question. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the next few steps. I'm going to walk you through the process. Because now similar to prepare, like now we understand this is a go. This is an opportunity we want to submit on. We have our designations, our registrations. We're looking at the RFP. Let me show you an example of an RFP. I pulled up a couple of them, but I'm just going to show you a simple one that is a part of my corporate training program for government contracting. Let's see. It's straightforward. Okay. So usually there's going to be a title, an opportunity name, or an opportunity ID. So this is the opportunity name, the ID, and then usually there is an overview or project information. Anytime they tell you something like that, it's usually just them kind of giving you like establishing a baseline in case you don't know who they are. Most of the time, bidders don't know who they are, and their goals. The trick that I didn't realize until an actual contracting officer told me is that they'll put that in there to see if people even care. What they do, they put that in there just to see if you care. So what that means is like, are you going to read this? Are you going to do your due diligence and learn about the city of Nashville and see what our goals and our plans are and see where you fit into that plan? You ever heard of like the hero's journey, and you look at the hero's journey and you're not the hero, you're the guide. So if you're the guide, you're helping the hero get to their destination. That's what they're looking at. They're like, are you going to approach us in your cover letter, in your proposal as the guide, or are you going to tell me how you're the hero? What a big difference, right? So project overview is like, This is a backstory on the hero. And if you're missing information about the hero, that is when you want to do your research and look at their website, look at all the information, see what they're saying about themselves. So that you're like, oh, okay, I know how I fit into the bigger plan. I don't care if you're selling bread. I don't care if you're selling bread. I don't care if you're selling tires. I don't care if you're doing oil changes for the government cars, vehicles. It doesn't matter. It matters what their plan and goals are. Because if you understand your position, your purpose in the big plan, it's going to go much further along with the relationship. It's not the contract you're just winning, it's the relationship that you're growing. This is a long-term game. This is a long-term game. So it's not short-term. It's not just like, let me get the money. It's let me build a relationship so that the money continues to flow in. Let's go. All right. Exactly. All right. So then there's the project scope. This is where they're going to tell you what they want. Like, we're looking for 80 loaves of bread. We're looking for transportation from the airport for this event. We're looking for a hotel. We're looking for blah, 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 right? And they're going to give you those details. Now you know exactly what they need. Please be honest with yourself. This is why step 1 in the Govcon strategy is prepare. So that when we get to the point of looking at their scope, we can say, oh yeah, this is something we can do. Submission requirements, they're going to tell you company info, like, give me all the stuff. This is your company information, your portfolio, like your past performance. Oftentimes you'll see that terminology, past performance or project portfolio. This is just a different way of saying, let me just see examples of what you said you could do. Does that make sense? So let me show my face. So say, for example, they're asking for water bottles. And you have experience getting like juice containers, right? That's not what they asked for. They asked for water bottles. Is there a way that you can tailor it or massage that to say water bottles? No, because it says it's juice bottles. But if you've been able to deliver water and bottles to the same place and delivered water bottles at the end result, that is something that's valuable to the government. Okay, so that's how you tailor it. Let me give you another example. Say it's social media. This is something that, yeah, there's a lot of RFPs for advertising in social media. I should got kicked out. A lot of advertising for social media. So if they say Facebook, or they're not going to say Facebook, they're going to say Meta. They say Meta, right? And you only have experience on LinkedIn. You can say that you've done social media services for LinkedIn. Can you say Meta? No, you can say I have done social media services for LinkedIn. So just like making sure that we are really clear on the scope of work, what they're exactly saying. If they say, can you create social media posts? Yes, you can. You've done that before. If they say, can you create graphics? Absolutely. Can you successfully run a social media ads campaign on Meta? Yes, you might not have the experience, but you can say, yes, you have, relevant to my experience on LinkedIn. And I'm just using these because they're all examples like we can universally say that we understand. That we can say, oh yes, we have experience from LinkedIn that, we can utilize our experience for this project. You might want to strategically position or add a team member that has experience with Facebook to elevate your team. Do you need to pay up front for this? No, you reach out to someone who's an expert at Facebook ads and you say, hey, come on my team. You're like, yes, that sounds great. If I win, you do this scope of work. Sounds good? Sounds great, right? We just want them to show their experience, right? Is this making sense? I know this is a lot, so you slow me down, speed me up, however you need to, okay? All right, Dory says yes. Kesha, you're good. Taju, you're good? Okay. Well, I'll keep going. So the other parts is is the deadline date and the selection criteria. I didn't learn this until I started my agency, but like there are actually people who wait after they submit their proposals after the deadline. Guys, it's after the deadline. There are timestamps. This is where the red tape is. Like if they say 3 p.m., it's not 3:01. It's not 3:15. It's 3. So get it in by 2:00. Because Murphy's Law. Everybody knew Murphy is? Anything that can go wrong will. So you want to get it in by 2:00 and have them give you a return receipt. So please confirm receipt of this email. If you have to upload it to a portal, like their own web portal, then you want to make sure you get a screenshot of it saying uploaded, confirmed. If you are shipping it, sometimes they'll ask for physical copies of your proposal. You want to get FedEx or you want to go, you can walk in and get it stamped, that it has a timestamp on it, that it was delivered and it was signed off by someone in their office. You don't want to go by the confirmation in FedEx. You want to make sure that they received it. Like it actually got received and delivered at that office by that person. Okay, Dory asks, what if your company is brand new? Should you proceed differently? Yes. Yeah, you need experience. So like there are strategies to winning government contracts with no experience. This is subcontracting, or you can be a middleman. You could just, reach out to someone who is doing government contracts and just be added to their existing team so that you can build your portfolio, your experience. And then later on, you can leverage that because you could still say that this is a contract that I worked on and I worked on this portion of the contract, right? That goes a long way, because it's just relationship building. You could do that. You could do the middleman deal, which is some people will find the opportunity or you could find the opportunities and then there's a legal way for doing middlemen. So you want to be really careful, but find the opportunities and then get a percentage of what that deal was on the front end. So there's different ways to do government contracts. If you're trying to win, like let's say you're doing your opportunity matrix and you come across all these contracts and you're like, I don't have experience in these, or I need to build my experience. Okay, no problem. There's time. Like the opportunity is not advertised until April. Can you go and find a private sector client and get that experience right now? Yes, 100%. That's why we track it all out for 12 months, because then even if you don't have it right now, you can prepare for winning in the future. It starts building a brand, like you're building one cohesive brand that provides those scope of services. Does that make sense? So like, if you're like, I want to provide this speaking or facilitate these training programs, and you're like, I don't have a lot of experience in this sector. Cool. So go and sell that as your offer. And then you'll have the experience. Did that help answer your question? Okay. Cool. Your selection criteria, the last bit of this is your selection criteria. So your selection criteria is, it's how they're planning on scoring your response. But, but they are still human beings that live in your neighborhoods, that go to your grocery stores, and they want to see you. So even though they're scoring you on like 70% for, let's say, experience or something, if you can tell them who you are, why you care, actually show that you're human, it'll go further. You know what I mean? There's no way for it to mathematically be aligned to your value. There's no way your business, there's no measurement that exists that way. So of course, this is based off, they have their own way of scoring things, but of course they take in consideration of people they actually want to do business with. So if you position yourself as someone who they like to work with and do business with, then they will, the percentage might be, the point system might be a little different, if that makes sense, without saying it, but I did, kind of, sort of. So that's the breakdown of the proposal. Of course, there's different things, sometimes they'll, depending on the details in the RFP, there might be information about the legal side, a copy of the contract, a copy of their agreement, right? They include that, or forms. They might include some forms. What do you do? Oh my gosh, they have forms. I gotta get this signed, blah, blah, blah. Just sign them. There hasn't been, in over a decade of all of the proposals that I've ever led or helped respond on, has there ever been a form that did not have basic information on it, or request basic information? So just fill it out, sign it. Sometimes sometimes they'll ask for a notary, but we can just hire someone to do that, or go to our bank and get it notarized. It's not, what we prepare to what we get at the end, it's it's not even comparable. It's just I'm going to do a little bit of work to make a lot of money. I'm going to do a little bit of work to build consistent revenue in my business. That sounds easy. Here's a few more tips I wanted to share with you today about the proposal and writing winning proposals. Now, we talked about understanding the solicitation. That's the RFP. Sometimes they're RFQs. Sometimes they're IF bids, like intent for bid. Sometimes, information to bid. Sometimes they're sources sought. Whatever they are, they're considered a solicitation, or you might consider them opportunities. Either way, those are, it's you put them all together, they tell a story. So that's why I like looking at the budget, fiscal budget. It'll tell you what their goal is. You do research on the agency, you know more about them and why they're buying what they're buying again, and whether or not they're going to buy it again, or how much. Sometimes they'll change the scope of work. So say you're leasing a property, and then in the budget, they say that they're planning on expanding. Well, great. You better be in their face and be like, where are you expanding to? Oh, by the way, I have some property in this area. So understanding what they want, understanding the solicitation, where is it coming from? Everything in the RFP is intentional. There's nothing in the RFP that's not intentional. If they're asking you for references, please, please, please do not say upon request delivered upon receipt. The request for proposal is the request. Include the references in your proposal. Anything they're asking for, include it. Now, on the other side of that, don't go overboard and just include everything, because they're not asking you for everything. They're just asking you for specific things. So let's talk about strategy. Because, yeah. Melinda, this sounds like a lot of work. I don't want to do all this. Okay, here we go. Proposal writing does not have to be hard nor take a lot of time. It doesn't have to. If you have a really strong master proposal template, then it is like 90% of the work done. And I mean the writing out the past performance, writing your resumes, writing your information about your company, all that stuff, you do it once. And then every time you submit on a proposal, or like, you submit a proposal for one of the opportunities that's on your opportunity matrix, you're just tailoring it. You're just tweaking it here and there. Should take you maybe a few hours, if that, less than that. And you're done. That's the power of technology today. The systems that I started my agency with were based off the archaic corporate world of doing it by hand. Over a year ago, we started using ChatGPT. We started using Claude. Claude is way better in writing than ChatGPT, by the way. And we started developing these prompts and these scripts so that everything sounded the same. Like they didn't sound like you copied and pasted it from ChatGPT. It sounded like your company, it's your language, it's your branding, it's your messaging, and it flows. Because that was another thing. It just didn't flow. It was like you copied and pasted this. And we tested it on hundreds of proposals. And guess what? We still kept our win rate. It was amazing. We still kept our win rate. And we got better and better and iterated. And that is the strategy, is like, how do you do things? How do you do the same thing, but smarter? How do you work higher and not harder? When you're looking at opportunities and you want to submit a bid or a proposal, a price or a proposal, or sometimes both, you don't want to start with what you just know. You want to look at what they bought. Like you want to make sure that you have everything. This is like a confidence booster. This is clarity. This is confidence. This is consistency. This is your way of understanding what they actually care about and what they like. Who else is winning contracts other than you in your space? And when you know all these things, this is great news. This is all great news. So you can request it. You could request it. A lot of times nowadays, you could find the scoring on procurement websites, like there's third-party procurement websites. Or you can just request this information from the client, a copy of the winning proposal, a copy of the scoring sheets before you submit, guys. So now you see how it's like, oh, well, if you tell me that, Melinda, it's so much easier. Absolutely. Like this is just money flowing into your business. No matter what level of experience you have, you just submit on opportunities that are best fit for your business at where you're at. And then you grow along the way. It's the best thing. Because you never are not qualified, because there's a way for you to win government contracts. You might just so I'm going to give you a strategy. You might just get your certification, your minority certification, and then go to prime contractors who are already winning and position yourself as a subcontractor. And then you just tell them that they can leverage your certification to get into other pools and win contracts where you can work on the work. It happens every day. Okay, I'm curious, what are some of the questions? I'm going to pause for a minute. What are some questions? Claude, yes, Claude. I'm going to take a sip. Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your questions. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? It helps me know what direction, because there's a lot of information. I don't want to overwhelm y'all.
I feel like I'm talking a lot, but I'm so filled up with this. But my thing right now is that this information is like amazing, and I needed this information because of where I'm going. But I'm so far back. Like I need to figure out, do I do the EIN number first or the LLC, or the LLC first or the EIN number? So I love this information because it's jolting me to action. And I think that maybe someone like myself probably should have started on another, like how to get yourself prepared to even think about getting a government contract. Or are you a new business who wants to potentially get government contracts? I could use something like that. And I think that your teaching style is amazing. Like for people like myself who are just start, like I've been most of my business experience have been in network marketing. So I've never had to really do things professionally, because we have a way, but it's not quite that professional. We just do what we do. And we make money. When I don't do that anymore. So now what I do, and we talked about it, it's opening up doors for things that I've always should have done. So I
Yeah.
love this, but it's ahead of me right now because I got to go back 30 steps and get my ducks in order.
Yeah, 100%. Thank
But
you
I'm
so
glad
much.
I'm here.
I'm glad you're here too. So the order of things is EIN, then your LLC. You can't create an LLC without an EIN. You don't want to. You don't want to. EIN, LLC, then bank account, business bank account. In that order. So you're right. A lot of people that have come to these master classes are like exactly where you are. So you're the right place. This is definitely a motivational masterclass, and because government contracting can be fitted into any type of business, literally, there's so much room for winning. This is where the masterclass comes in. This is why it is 4 hours long. This is why we go into detail, because if I just said, here's my offer, and I don't really help you with where you're at, then I'm not helping you. So what I'll tell you is that at the end of this program, I'm going to present to you guys an offer. It's completely customizable. And I created it that way because I learned from doing this for a very long time that it's not a one-size-fits-all system. The strategy works no matter how big your business is, but what pre-work you need to do is different. For my enterprise size clients, they're looking at systems. They're like, how do we systematize government contracting? For 7 and 8 figure businesses, they're looking at something completely different. They're like, how do we do this and keep our clients happy while doing ads and everything online? And then for my growth clients, my foundational clients, those are people who are just like, man, I got to do some work. I got to build a business. I need your help. I'm like, cool, no problem. So let's build the business first, but we're positioned to win government contracting. That way, it's not like we don't get distracted. Because here's the thing, like I mentioned briefly 8A certification, and this is a really good play, because even when you don't have any experience, 8A is a great certification because they'll actually give you work based off where you're at in your business. So if you say, I don't have a lot of project experience, cool. Well, let's see if you're qualified for 8A. Because then that's just like opportunities galore. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, you're muted, dear.
Are you saying 8A? Like the number
Yes.
8A? Okay. All right.
Yeah. 8A. 8A. Number 8, lowercase letter A certification. It's a SAM supported certification. So if you go to sam.org or SBA, excuse me, SBA certification. So you go to sba.org, .gov, you could find more information about AA. It's completely, it used to be all paperwork, but it's completely online now. It's a portal, it's straightforward, it's easy. But it's still like, you still need to get an EIN, you still have a need an LLC, you still need to do those things. Those are basic. Those are, once you get those things done, they're done, right? I'd still say, no matter where you are in your journey, this is a diversify your revenue game. This is not I'm going to do it for all of my monies. This is diversify your revenue. This is like, I want to accomplish and achieve my business goal, my 5-year business goal in a year. This is, I want to make more money faster, right? We want to, and the reason why I say that, some people will say otherwise, but this is based off my experience and my relationships with contracting officers, is we never want to put all our eggs in one basket. This is so good. This is amazing. This time right now is the best time to do government contracting, y'all. Not because I'm trying to sell y'all, but I'm telling you right now, once this real AI world starts rolling in, everybody will be like, can you tell me about the stability of government contracting? So that's what's here in this world. So if you can not lock in a little longer, and I would say, Dory, let's get on a call. Like, just go ahead and book a call after this. We'll have a link for you to book a call, and book a call. Let's talk through it completely. That is the intention behind those strategy sessions. It's so like I can help you at where you're at right now, and get you where you need to go. You're welcome. Absolutely. Great questions. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this. I want to talk to you guys about strategy, because that's the part of where AI cannot do yet. Well, sure, you can have it right. Sure, you can have it right, but it can't think like a human being, can't feel like a human being. So when it comes to strategy in your proposals, this is key. This goes for corporate proposal. This goes for government proposals. This goes for selling to other businesses, consumers. It doesn't matter. Always focus on what they want. Like, a lot of businesses will say, you need to tell them that you won all these awards and you're the best thing since sliced bread, but they don't really care. I guarantee. They want to see proof that you've delivered it, and they want to see that you care about their transformation. So when you're writing things, you're writing a cover letter, you're writing responding to the questions in your RFP, every single question will be answered as if you're talking to a human being. Sometimes what I'll do, and I started to do recently because I figured out I can do this, is I'll transcribe the entire proposal. So I'll, some of my team members do this for the smaller proposals because it just works out that way. Where we have interview questions, and we'll actually ask those interview questions to answer that question. So what would it look like? What would it look like for you to deliver on this project? instead of the question that's in the RFP of, tell me what your approach is. Because when you say that, tell me what your approach is, it sounds really dry. It sounds like, you know what I mean? Like you don't know what to put in there. You're like, my approach. But what they're asking you for is, how will this affect my life? What does this look like to work with you? That's what they're asking. So every single thing in the RFP is intentional. Read it as if they're asking you a question about, how is it affecting my life? How will this work? What should I be looking out for? Handhold imagine yourself hand-holding the client through the experience. That's what you're doing. That's how you're responding. As if they're standing right in front of you, you would respond differently. Okay. No problem. All right. So we're almost done. We're almost done, guys. When we get to the price, this is important. We want to make sure it's realistic, competitive, and well documented. When we think about realistic pricing, we're not trying to be competitive like, oh, we need to be cheaper than the other person. No, never. In any situation of selling to whomever you're selling to, never try to be the cheapest. You always want to be realistic with your price and your profit margins. So if your project profit margins are 5%, that's not giving a lot of space to make money. You want to make sure your profit margins are at least 10, if not more. And there's a way you're telling a story with your price. We're always documenting and telling a story with your price. And that's if you're submitting a proposal with a price, that's important too, because you want to make sure that it all flows properly. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. They're asking you for experience, how much the project was, and then they're asking you for the price. They're asking you for all that information for a reason. They're going to compare. They're going to be like, okay, so this person got this project for this much, but you're charging us for this, right? This needs to make sure that it all makes sense. And then the last thing that you're going to do is you're going to review. We figured out a way to review with the help of AI. And compliance is the #1 challenge that most businesses have when it comes to government contracting, because it's a lot of work if you're not doing it this way. But when you're doing it this way, you get to, if you have, let's say you have like 10 project opportunities on your project matrix, you could like literally do all of them in like a week and you'd be done. And just like, they're just ready to go. When the advertisement comes out, you're like, okay, let me just do a quick tweak here and there, and you're done. Oh, it's amazing. So what compliance is like checking to make sure that everything in the RFP is exactly what you deliver to them. So we have prompts specifically for that, say like, based off this, this is this. Based off that, this is this. And it actually will give you feedback, a score, so that you are in alignment. And that way you can submit with clarity, confidence, and know exactly what to expect. That's it. It's a lot, I know, but you did such a good job. You did such a good job. I want to tell you that a lot of people will tell you that is too hard. That is too difficult. That is, whatever, the timing is not right, whatever. And I'm going to tell you this. When I realized this, I had a coach tell me this, coach a long time ago told me this. She said, don't take advice from people that have not received or achieved the results that you are looking out to achieve. So if you're looking to win government contracts, or you're looking to grow your business, or you're looking to do something different than you've ever done before, don't go to the people that know you, that have been on your journey this whole time. You want to go to the people that actually have proven those results, not people that have heard about it, people that have proven results. That's how you win. That's how you accelerate. That's how you grow. That's how you catapult into the next person, the next identity of you. Proposals is probably the only thing out of government contracting that requires consistent time. And I've just shown you that's in less than 4 hours what it looks like. And it's like riding a bike. Like once you get on the bike, you ride, you're good. You can keep going. And how great it would be. How great will it be when you start winning government contracts so effortlessly, so easily, and you're just working based off one master proposal? You ever try to create something once and then you just repurpose it, like repurposing social media content, like reusing something over and over again, and you just modify it slightly so that it works? Like your company doesn't change, the story changes, but that's easy to change. That's easy to update. And when you have the prompts and scripts and stuff like that, it makes it so much easier. I think one of the proposals that my team and I started working on in AI, once we perfected the system of proposal writing, is we were able to finish a proposal in less than an hour. Suit to nuts, everything done. And it was such a transformation in our timelines. And it gave us an ability to, just really change the way that we did business and really help our clients achieve bigger goals, because now they're not thinking, oh man, so they're going to do this one and then we have to wait until they're done with this one. It's like, man, so what are the ones that you want to go get them? It's just money. You're eliminating all of the hurdles. And now it's just a decision. So cool. So that's the decision that I have for you today. I currently have a program called $1 Million Contracts. This contracts program is based off a system that I've created and I ran in my agency for a long time and has put out hundreds of proposals in different industries, in different countries, in different states, for federal, state, and local here in the US. And I created recently different tiers of that program, because I realized that not everybody is going to get in the same way and understand or need the same things. In addition to my business clarity program, which is like completely for startups, I also do government contracting. The next step is sustain and grow, like we optimize systems and strategies. What I'm telling you this is not the game that I'm looking to do only with you. I'm here to help you grow and build a business that you actually want to have, that you can one day sell if you want to, that you can leave as a legacy, whatever you want. That's my purpose. So I'm going to put in the chat the link to the website where you can register to book a call with me. On this page, and I'll just pull it up really quick. So on this page, yes, thank you. Okay. Yeah. On this page, you're going to see the replay for today. This is going out to everybody today. And you're going to see just overview of what this offer includes. It includes a 2-day strategic workshop. The next one is actually at the end of this month on January 27th and 28th. It is virtual. It is live, 2 days. You, depending on whether you get the options that you get in this program, you'll get a fully branded proposal template, or you can do we actually have an entire proposal template you can use. You just fill it in, you use our scripts, super easy. And then you have an opportunity to join our MDC community. So we are starting to create a $1 million contracts community because I'm about building community to change people's lives. And I'm talking about life, not just yours, but the lives of others that are impacted. Because that, like I said, I am the dinner party person. I love to serve. But I also want to bring to you what you can do when you start winning government contracts and making millions of dollars and getting closer to billions. And you're like, what do I do with all this money? Well, Melinda, or y'all, I got answers for you. I've been in commercial real estate. I have clients in commercial real estate. I know the game of that. I've been in that world for so long. And that's an opportunity for you to grow your portfolio. That's an opportunity for you to build your business by diversifying your revenue. You see how, like, this is all about diversifying your revenue. This is the play. How to automate your revenue. If you want to go online and you want to do that, add that to the play, add this to the play, and bring those experts into the community in addition to helping you in your journey. So the MDC community, we meet weekly. It's strategic sessions, and it's just going through, like, you got a proposal, you want to have a second set of eyes, you want to do a compliance check. It's live with me. It's live with me. It's live with my team. It's getting feedback in real time. I mean, you talk about teaming partners. You're in a room of other people with the same vision of growing their business, and they're doing government contracting. Can you imagine all of the deals that can be done in this community? This is why the MDC community is going to be like, it's going to be so powerful. But here's the thing. I'm not opening the MDC community to everybody. I'm only opening it to those that invest in the $1 million contracts program, because it needs to stay quality. It needs to have and keep that culture for long term. Then you're also going to get that expert advice, like along the journey. Can you imagine what you can do in your business if you have somebody that's creating like those bumpers so that you can just roll that ball and get a strike? Like, that can change your world. Instead of dealing with the distractions, we actually will tell you, here are the ways that you can improve your business with those potential ideas that you might be thinking about. Or, hey, the strategy that you've laid out is great. You don't need to change it. So if you want to go deeper into the program, you're going to click here. It says full details, and it's going to give you all of the information about the program. I need to update the note here because this is only going to be open for 5 people for this round. We have our workshops coming up in 20 days, actually 20 days from today. So we need to lock everybody in by Friday. In the program that's going to go into details, exactly what this looks like, all the stuff. If you're still on the fence, what I'll tell you is I want you to book a call anyway, because I want to hear what you need. I'm in the business of helping people with what they need. I'm not trying to sell them what I want to sell you. I want to help you. Take the opportunity. Wealthy people take opportunities all the time. Wealthy people are like, yes, is it an accelerant? I am all there. Is it going to get me there faster? 100%. And I have the expertise and the knowledge to help you. So take it. It's free. It's a free strategy session. It's 60 minutes, completely free. So you're going to do that, schedule a call, strategy session, and then we can figure out whether or not it's a good fit for you. And I can present to you the different tiers, and we could talk about investment, payment plans, whatever it needs to be so that you can be on your way. Y'all have any questions?
I have to go to a meeting, but you are the bomb.com, and I appreciate this. This was amazing. I wish I didn't have to run, but I do have to get to this meeting. You are amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care, Dory. I'll talk to you soon. Awesome. Any questions? Any other questions? Any thoughts? Takeaways? What's on your mind? What are your thoughts? What are you thinking about? What are you thinking the next step is? Tell me, tell me. Okay, Deja. Kesha, you have any questions? Make sure you can unmute. There you go.
Hi,
Okay.
there it is. I don't have any questions at this time. However, I was looking at your schedule to book for the one-on-one and also trying to open up the link to get the more details on how so I know how to move forward. But no questions for the group.
Okay, no problem. So did the link, I want to make sure the link did work for you?
Yes, it did. But what I'm going to do, because I like to see things like this on a bigger screen, I'm going to switch from my cell phone and look at it on my laptop so I can really see what I'm doing here.
No, that sounds good. That sounds good. You're going to get also a replay in a little bit. So that'll go to your email. You can open it up. You don't have to worry too much about saving the link and sending it to your desktop and all that stuff. But yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Guys, this is amazing. So really quick for those that are watching the replay, the deadline is Friday, January 10th. You can see the link to all the information with this video. And I actually might do another pop-up Q&A tomorrow, just for a few minutes, just to answer any questions that you might have, and see if you are the right fit for the program. Again, the workshop is the 27th and 28th. There are payment plans, there are tier options so that this can be easy for you and a no-brainer, to be honest. So I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about this. So thank you so much for your time today. And you are on the trajectory for success. Like there's no other way to go than up. So take care of yourself. We'll talk very soon. Click the link to book a call. They will go fast. And usually what I hear from people is, oh, can you open up another spot? And I'm like, nope, the book call times is based off that time. So if you are not sure, book a call anyway, so that you can secure the time that works best for you. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.